friends. How are you today? I'm Rainey, in case you are new here. Hi, welcome to the channel. I actually was debating whether to even film a weekly update today because as far as the books are concerned, I honestly don't feel like I have anything to report. I I don't know if I'm in a slump or if I was just so busy the past kind of like week carrying over through last week that I just really didn't start anything new. Well, that's a lie. I did start one new book, but I haven't gotten very far in it. Um, and I'm just still kind of reading the same things as I did before. But I decided I would film today because a few of you, after my last update, said that you would like to see a birthday haul. And I also have a couple of books that I bought for myself. So I figured, okay, I'll do a haul, even though it like sort of makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable to be putting like what gifts people got me on the internet, but you said you wanted to see them, so and it will promote pretty books, so I'm gonna go with that. But for those of you that are here for my crafty content, I do have quite a bit to show you on that front for Stitch Sania and also for my knitting. So as I've been doing the last few times, I will be putting timestamps in the description below for the crafty content, the book content, and just any random chatter that I might think about at the end. So, without further ado, since I talked about books already, let's continue and go to the book section. Okay, so like I said, I have not really been reading anything new this week, but the thing that I have been consistently reading and really enjoying is Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. I am reading this as part of a read along with Krista from Books and Jams. She is doing Mere Christianity May on her channel, and every Sunday she is having live shows where she gets a few of us booktubers who are reading this with her, and we just discuss the chapters that we read for this week. And this Sunday, today, which I don't know if I'll be posting this after that live show or before, but either way, I'll try to remember to post it in the comments or in the description. But we are going to be talking about section or part 2 of this book, and basically it kind of outlines Lewis's thoughts on what Christians believe and don't believe. So that'll be a very interesting conversation, I think, and I have started to tab. And oh, and also, this is part of my haul. So I might as well just start talking about haul because I just had a library copy of this book, and I decided that this is probably going to be a book that I will reread, multiple times in my life. I used to have a copy from when I read it in college for the first time, but I apparently, since I have given it away or sold it or something, I had just been using a library copy for this read along and decided I wanted to tab it. And so I got online and I found a copy that I liked and I bought it. It has deckled edges, which is not like, it's not a make or break it. It's not like my favorite thing in the world, but I like it. I think it's pretty. I just don't like trying to turn pages that are deckled. But whatever. That's not the end of the world for me, and it is pretty. So, but I have started to tab it, and as we are talking right now, this is before the live show, so I'm going to have to go over my notes for for part 2 so that I can sound decently intelligent on this live, because the last live that the ladies did, everybody sounded super smart, and it started to make me very nervous because I don't feel like I'm going to be super smart about this. But I'll try. So, anyway, this is haul number one. I'm going to try to go in order of when I received these or bought them. Mere Christianity, that was not in order, but that's fine. So anyway, this will be the birthday haul section of the book portion, because I did get some crafty things as well that I will put in the next section. But for my birthday, I was very lucky to receive some lovely things from my booktube friends. And my friend Felicia from Little Prairie Library, which I will post her channel below because I think you should definitely watch her. She does some crafty things on her channel from time to time, and she's just funny and very insightful. And she is one of the hosts of Maybe Midrash this May. So definitely you should go subscribe to her if you haven't already. And but anyway, Felicia had voxed me and asked me for my Amazon wish list, which I don't really keep up with my Amazon wish list, to be honest, and I don't post it publicly or anything like that because, again, it just makes me feel kind of weird. But she asked me for it, and I was like, you don't have to get me anything from this, you know? The wish list, I kind of just use it as like my own personal wish list of things that I want to get myself someday. But she was insistent, so I sent it to her, and all of a sudden, one day, this ginormous book came in the mail. And I love it so much. Les Miserables by, why am I blanking on who wrote this? Victor Hugo. I don't actually know. I don't think that I have ever read the full text of this book. I definitely have seen the musical. I've seen, have I ever seen it actually on the stage? I don't think so, because I tried to get tickets after I graduated when my alma mater did it, and my college alma mater did it, and I couldn't get them. So I don't think that I have ever actually seen it on stage, but I've seen the movie version, and I've heard a lot about this book. I have heard that it is very daunting, but the story is very powerful. And I'm very excited to read it, and I love this copy. And I was just saying about deckled edges, but for some reason in these Penguin Deluxe editions, I love them. I have Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights in the Penguin Deluxe edition as well, and I might be a deckled edges convert with these. So, but Felicia, honestly, you didn't have to do this, but I'm so glad that you did. And now we are going to do a 6-month read along of Les Mis together, starting in June, because we feel like that's probably about as long as this is going to take us to read. But it's a twofer present because I get a lovely book and I get to read it with one of my good friends. So yay! So then, my friend Amanda from her Pacific Northwest Washington life, also her channel will be linked down below. She's currently taking a break because she is in school, but I feel like she will be back. But she asked if she could send me an Amazon gift card for my birthday. And I was like, again, you don't have to do that, but she did. And so I was hemming and hawing on what should I buy with this Amazon gift card. It had to be bookish. I knew it had to be books. And I was just like hemming and hawing about it. And in the meantime, my friend Tara from Buzzwords Books sent me a present. And it was Cornflowers and Corpses by London Lovett. This is the 13th book in the Port Danby series. And she just took a chance that I did not have this one, and she was correct. I did not. So I was very excited because I only have like 4 more books until I am caught up in the series as far as having them. I think I'm only on like number 10 as far as actually reading them, so I need to get on them. But there are currently 15 books in the series out, and there's one more I think coming out in June or July. So she was like, "Do you have this one already?" I'm like, "No, and I need this. Thank you so much." So then that made me think, well, geez, that means that there are only 3 more books out in this series that I still need to get, and I have a gift card, and oh, it would just happen to pay for the other 3 books. So I ordered um, Shamrocks and Shenanigans, which is the 15th and most recently published book in the series. And then I should go in order, but whatever. Frisia and Foul Play, which is number 12, and Jasmine and Jealousy, which is number 14. So I totally didn't do that in order. So now, thanks to my incredibly gracious mystery loving friends, I now have the next 4 books in the Port Danby series. Yay! Thank you, ladies. Again, you did not have to do this, but I'm so glad that you did because it's going to be so fun. And now I feel like I need to rearrange my entire TBR and just binge these. But I don't have time for that. I cannot rearrange my TBR, but we may have to shove one in someplace in May so that I can start to get caught up. They are all, I will say, that they're all super short. They're all like within 200 some pages. So they're more like novellas. So that really helps get through them very quickly. So I think that I will be able to get caught up pretty soon if I will at least read one a month. So those were my bookish birthday presents, but I have one more book that actually just came last night that I bought for myself. And honestly, I probably should have used Amanda's gift card for this book because we read this series together. But I wasn't even thinking about it being out yet, the third book in this series. So until just the other day, and so I had already ordered the Port Danby series, and I'm glad that I did. So I just ordered this one for myself, and that is The Magician by Kathleen Shoup, and this is the third in the Denora. I think it's the Denora Chronicles collection, maybe. Oh, the Denora Story collection. And it's not necessarily a series. It doesn't always follow the same characters, or it's not even in the same time period, but it all is set in Denora, Pennsylvania, which is a really odd place to set a story. But if you have been following me for a long time, you know that earlier in, I think it was in 2020, or no, maybe it was in 2019, we started to read these books with After the Fog, which follows the events of a killing fog, it was called, in Denora, Pennsylvania, uh, in the 1940s. And this was during a time period when my grandparents were around, and they are actually both from that area. So my parents and I took a trip out to the Denora area. Oh, we also visited family to make it seem a little bit more of a legit trip because Denora is not a touristy destination, let me tell you. But we did. I took some pictures that maybe made it look a little nicer than it actually is. But but back in the day, Denora was a very big steel making town. So there were a lot of sports people came out of Denora, and a lot of the steelmaking industry was kind of developed in Denora. So anyway, there's a lot of history involved in Denora. It's just kind of like a lot of things gone by the wayside. So anyway, The Magician is the third in the series, and this follows Stan Musial as a child who is a famous baseball player. I am not really. I do enjoy watching baseball on occasion, and I understand baseball, but it's not really anything that I am super up on everything about it. So I don't actually know who Stan Musial ended up playing for, but he was born and raised in Denora, Pennsylvania. So I told Amanda about it. She now has the book on Kindle, and I have the physical copy, and we are planning to read it together soon. So, yay! That is actually all I have to tell you about in the way of books this week. I'm still reading through Wives and Daughters. I started That Hideous Strength by C.S. Lewis, but I'm not very far into it, so I'm not even going to talk about it yet. So, yeah, there's really not a whole lot of reading that got done this week, except for in those few books. But I wanted to share the bookish love that my friends gave to me this week. So let us move on to the crafting. Well, so far, this crafting section is going well because I talked to you for about 10 minutes before I realized I hadn't pressed record. So, yay. Oh well, that's okay. We'll just plow on, shall we? Anyway, welcome to the crafty section. I have a little bit of birthday haul for the crafty section, which I will show you at the end. But we're going to talk about Stitchsania, which is the version of Stitch Mania that I have chosen to follow. It is the brainchild of Stephanie from Lindy Stitches, and I will post her channel down below. I'm sure everybody that does cross stitching already knows about Stephanie, but if you don't, or if you're new to cross stitching, you should definitely check her out because she is an amazing designer. Her floss tube videos are just like chef's kiss, hilarious and just adorable. And she is just a lovely person as well. She actually sent me a personal message on Instagram the other day, and it was so nice. It's like whenever you do YouTube and half of your or most of your content that you view is on YouTube. Either I do book tube and floss tube and knitting tube, and so when these like bigger designers and stuff comment or send you personal messages or something like that, it's like fan excitement level, like starstruck kind of a thing. So it was so sweet of her to send me a personal message, and I'm really excited to be able to stitch some of her patterns this month. One of my new starts for Stitchsania is one of her patterns, and I have since procured a couple more of her patterns. But all that is to say, my focus piece for this month is not a Lindy Stitches pattern. It is Alice and the Flamingo by Mrs. Peggotty Arts on Etsy. And I will, put all her information down below, of course. And this is, I'll pop up a picture of what the finished product will hopefully eventually look like. And I have made it my focus to do one full page of this pattern every week in the month of May, because I have kind of calculated it out that in order to finish it before October, like by the 1st of October, I have to do 4 pages per month of this pattern. So some of them are like half page patterns, but I am trying to, at least during the month of May, do the patterns that are like a full page. So the most stitches that I could possibly do to try to get those ones busted out before I get like, all stitched out, and I don't want to try to do 206 stitches a day, which is what I have to do in order to get a full page done in the week. So anyway, that's all very complicated, but let me show you where I am at this moment and what I finished this week. Okay, let's see. So here is the section that I worked on this week, and I'll try to show you this. I have some of the border done, but this is the main picture that I have done so far. So this part was pretty easy to do because, as you can tell, it's just blocks of color. So it was a good one to do this week when I was really busy, because I could just basically pick one strand of floss and just go to town. So that was really, really nice to do. And some people were asking me, sorry, you can't really see me. Some people were asking me how I count my stitches, and I use Pattern Keeper. I have a really old Android device that doesn't really work very well and is kind of a pain to charge. It doesn't want to charge when I plug it in, but it's what I have. And Pattern Keeper is an app that's strictly for Android devices, and I'm an Apple girl mostly. But luckily my dad had this old Android device that he gave me. So I'm able to count my stitches that way, because there's no way that I would count physically every stitch that I do every day. So don't think that I'm doing that. I am using Pattern Keeper. So I highly recommend that app if you have an Android device. But anyway, so this is where I am with Alice. I'm very excited to be this far. So, and then the way Stitch Sania works is if you meet your goal every week, then with your focus piece, then on the weekends you can get a new start. So the first weekend was May 1st and 2nd. So I just thought, I'll do my 200 stitches every day. And if I do my 200 stitches on Saturday and Sunday, those 2 days, I can then start my first new project. So that new project for the first week was this Thankful Samplery by my friend Tanya from the Sampler Girl. And I've been working on it. After I get my 200 stitches a day on Alice, I allow myself to be able to pick this up, or my other new start that I have started. So this is where I am on that. After, whatever this is, a couple weeks. This is week 2, I guess. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I like this little turkey guy. I finally got that turkey done. And this is on 30 count Witchelt linen in lamb's wool. And I think, yes, I have the little tag on it, so I had to look. This is my first project ever with linen, and it hasn't been too bad. I enjoy it. I don't know that I will ever be a linen stitcher, just because the counting is a little bit of a pain. But maybe as I get more used to it, I will, not feel that way. But I still like Ada. I'll be honest, I still like Ada. So, but anyway, I'm really enjoying this pattern, and I feel like I'm going to pick it up today. And but I haven't done my 200 stitches on Alice either, so that's not going to happen until I get my 200 stitches done. So we'll see if that happens. But yeah, really like that little turkey guy. And then last weekend, I started my first Lindy Stitches pattern, and that is Walk Fast by Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches. And I really enjoy this pattern because it is a funny Golden Girls quote that is a Rose and Island quote. And if you know about the Golden Girls, you know that Rose always has these funny St. Olaf stories, and a lot of times she has silly Scandinavian sayings. And I just thought this one was hilarious. And it's also a sampler, and I kind of have been wanting to do a sampler, but the more old fashioned samplers, while I think they're beautiful, they don't really go with my decorating style in my house. So this one is a little bit more fun and, you know, modern. So I'm excited to get that one done and on my wall somewhere. So this is what I have so far. And I'm trying to, this one doesn't have a whole lot of pages to it. So I'm still working on the first page. And this is on 18 count Ada from Picture This Plus in the color Vellum. And I really like this, honestly. Like, if you are somebody who doesn't like Ada because you think it's really stiff, this is not. This is very flexible and just like very soft, and I really like it a lot. So I might actually, for my next full coverage Mrs. Peggotty pattern, I might get just some white Picture This Plus for my next one, because I feel like maybe it would be floppier. So I don't want to like get a fun color necessarily for my full coverage pieces, because it's full coverage. You wouldn't end up seeing a lot of it anyway. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But this is where I'm at with Lindy Stitch's Walk Fast. And I'm just using DMC. She does, oh, I forget what kind, color. I forget what it's charted as, but she has a DMC conversion, so I'm just doing the DMC conversion. But I still like it that way. It's just, you know, you don't get the variegation of the hand-dyed flosses, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. So actually, I should be starting a new start this weekend, but it's already Sunday, and I just have not had any time to think about a new start. And actually, I'm not even sure that I have fabric for my other two new starts. I don't know what I was thinking. So I think I'll just work on those two those two starts from previous weekends, and I'm really still enjoying them, so I'm okay with that. And then we'll see how next week goes if I have fabric for another start. So now let's go on to the little bit of haul that I have from my birthday. My friend Marcia, who is an artist, she has a YouTube channel, but she's been taking a break for a little while, just because of some personal things. But she and I have kind of bonded over art and crafty things, and she sent me a package in the mail, and it was this cute little vintage sewing kit. Now, I don't sew, but these things work very well for knitting and cross stitch. So I thought this was adorable. Let me open it and I will show you the things. Let's see. This little guy comes out. Oh wait, I just don't have it. Okay. They're very well secured in here. I have trouble getting these scissors out of here. But we have what is it? This is an awl, which I'm really not sure what I will use this for. But if nothing else, it's a good weapon. It looks pretty sharp. And then a thimble, which I have already used because there was just a day where I just kept poking myself in the finger with my cross stitch needle. So I put that on for some protection. These scissors are giving me life because they're very sharp and pretty. And then a tapestry needle, which I have used in my knitting already. And then just a little case, I'm assuming, for this tapestry needle or whatever. So, but I think this is called a syringe on the front. of the package. I'm not really sure why. It's not a syringe. So, but maybe that's what they called it in the wherever vintagey era this came from. So, but they're so pretty. I love them. Thank you, Marcia. Okay, so the last thing that I want to show you is my knitting. I had been determined to put aside my knitting for the month of May so that I could focus on my cross stitching. But after a while, when you just do one project over and over and over again, you're kind of like, my fingers need to like do something else. They need a new action or else I'm going to be sore. So I pulled my White Horse sweater from Caitlin Hunter out that I've been working on since probably the middle of April. And I was a little concerned in my last video that it was going to be way too small on me. So I put it on some waste yarn and I blocked it. And even though it's not done, the arms are not on, I'm not even fully through the length of the bodice part. But I needed to know before I got any further if this thing was even gonna remotely fit me or one of my loved ones. So here it is. This is the blocked sweater at this point. And it still looks like it's pretty small, but thank goodness it fits. It is a little bit tight in my chest region, but that could be because I've eaten a lot recently. So maybe by the time this is done, I will have lost a little bit of weight. But I was happy to see that I was able to block it out to the point where the neck stretched, so it is not tight around my neck, which I was happy about. It does kind of hit me a little bit funny in my chest area, but again, like this part is like a little like not where I feel like it should be. But again, maybe if I lose a little bit of weight, maybe that'll change. I don't know. But either way, it'll fit. That's all that I care about. It'll fit. So I'm really happy about it at this point. So I put it back on needles and we're just gonna knit until we are happy with the length of the body. And then I'll put the sleeves on and hopefully I won't screw that up and it'll be done. Yay! And I really like that pattern. Now that it's blocked out, I'm even more happy with it. Yay! Okay, so I rambled on for a very long time in this crafty section. So let's go to random chatter and we'll just wrap this puppy up. Okay, so I have been talking so long that my coffee is now cold and I need a refill. And I need to start reviewing my Mere Christianity for the live stream today. So I got some stuff to do, so I better wrap this up. So anyway, the only random chatter I have is that now that all the birthday for me and my dad and Mother's Day celebrations are officially done now I am going to full force be starting to try to do a new health and fitness routine and get into a groove. The weather is finally getting nice in PA, so I've been going for a lot of walks. The eating part hopefully will get better now that the birthday celebrations are over. As you can see, I'm breaking out a little bit because I have not been eating well. So hopefully I will be able to change that here starting today, hopefully. But we'll see. I think I told you previously that I started a Discord accountability group with some booktube friends to kind of motivate each other to get back in the game. So hopefully that will motivate me, and the sweater will motivate me because while it fits, it's a little bit tight, and I put so much work into the sweater. I want to be able to I want to be able to wear it when it's done. So, yeah, I need to get my butt in gear. So that's really the only random chatter I have, is that I need to stop eating like a pig. And move more. I do have a Fitbit, which you probably always see. So I am making sure that I have that sucker charged up every day, and my goal is to get 10,000 steps every day this week, and just, if I don't go for a walk, I need to put in a walk away the pounds kind of video that I have found on YouTube. So I'm doing that. Like, of course, the people are kind of way too excited about walking, but I guess that's what they figure they have to do. But I can always. But here's a pro tip. If you find the instructors a little bit annoying in how excited they are, just mute them and put another video on like your laptop and watch that, because you can follow along with what the people are doing without actually hearing them, right? So that's my pro tip. I watch the people on my big TV, and I mute them and have my laptop going with something that I actually want to listen to. So, pro tip. So, anyway, I hope you all are having a lovely May, and that your projects are going well, and hopefully it's nice where you are, that you're able to get out and go for walks or runs or whatever you like to do. And I will hopefully see you next week with a little bit more reading content. And I should definitely have an equally long amount of crafting content. So, all right, friends, I will talk to you next week. And if I get this up before the live, join us for our Mere Christianity live stream at 4 o'clock Eastern time today. So, all right, that was my shameless plug. All right, cheers. Goodbye, friends.